All right, here's the first demo of me using the Vision Pro sitting in my living room. I'm doing the voiceover on top of this because I didn't turn the mic on when I recorded it, but you'll get the same idea. I can see clearly around the room. It actually looks much better inside the Vision Pro than it does on this recording. I can see through everything in the room. This is kind of the main home screen with the icons. They just kind of float over the room. Or I can turn on these environments. This is just one of the environments, and it looks incredibly real. I mean, I might as well be sitting on the edge of this lake with the mountains in the background. It looks incredible. I can hear the water in the background. I can hear the environment. And now my living room's completely gone, even though I'm still sitting in the same place, which is truly stunning. Um, so I'm just pinching and dragging to scroll through the different icons on the home screen of random things that I've downloaded. I can turn that environment back off or dim it down. Also, if it's on, you can see if I look over and Eden looks at me, I can actually see her through it. She kind of pops up through it, which is a weird little feature, but it does work. And then I'll dim it back down so I can see the environment. I kind of like seeing the environment for the most part. It's a little bit less disorienting because you actually see reality around you while everything else is layered on top of it. Some people would call this mixed reality or augmented reality. And let's see what else I did next. Looking at photos. So these are spatial photos, spatial videos that have been recorded. Just as an example, they're going to look a lot better for me than they do you. But for me, they look like they're real 3D, like I'm actually in the environment. It looks like I'm there. And you see I just pinched and dragged to make it bigger, pinched and dragged to make it smaller again. And it's very realistic. The resolution could be a little bit higher on some of these videos for the spatial videos, but otherwise it's incredible. You just grab the bottom of a window like that to reposition it. And then I can open up new windows, leaving that one over on the side, which is pretty cool. So it's just a web browser. Um, you can see I kind of was pinching and scrolling when I meant to grab the bottom of the window. Everything's based on eye tracking. So I'm looking at the screen and it is very good. The keyboard's fine. Like it's a little bit slow to just type one at a time. I can't type like I normally would on a regular keyboard. That said, I could just sync my laptop or a Bluetooth keyboard if I want to type more. Also, could just use Siri from voice recognition, which also works really well. So you can see I can load up a website, loads really fast as it would anywhere else. This floating window, I can make it as big, as small as I want. I can move it towards me, move it away, resize it, make it as big as the entire wall, which is really too big. I don't want to be trying to look around while I'm looking at the screen, but you can kind of get the idea. That spatial video of Darby is still sitting over there in the corner, which I can bring back up just by pinching it, grab it, move it around. So it knows what I'm looking at. And I can reposition windows wherever I want. I can have as many of them open as I want as well. It's a little too big, so I'll make it a little bit smaller so it's more usable. And you'll notice as I'm clicking on buttons, I don't have to pick my hands up like that. I'm just showing you so you can kind of see it on the video. I can actually keep my arms completely rested by my side. And it's just tracking where my eyes are going on the screen, which works incredibly well. You can actually pull it closer and touch the screen as well, which I just realized I've not seen that on a demo. It's not it's not great, honestly. I mean, it works fine, but it's better to use the eye tracking and pinching, which is probably why they invented that. Um, but you can reach out and touch it as if it's an iPad if you want. It just over time, it's not going to be a long-term way of using it. It's going to be fatigued versus just having your arm by your side. So pretty cool. And you'll see there's a little button at the bottom. I just look at that to close it. Same thing over here. Look at the little button on the bottom to close it. Same thing there. Close all the windows back out. I can recenter the home button just by pressing the crown on the top. And I'm back to my home screen again. So you can see I just swipe to scroll through, pinch and drag. So let's try a game. You can see it's just loading up an Apple Arcade game, a pretty standard one that's available on the iPhone, iPad, and computer. It's basically the same game, but they immerse you in the environment, which is really wild. I think that things are going to be even crazier as they go. This is just really repurposing a game inside of an environment. It doesn't even look nearly as good on this video recording as it does in real life. It truly feels 3D. It looks like I'm in the room, um, and there's zero latency on the video. I mean, it just is so super smooth and really feels like I'm there. Now, again, like I said, in this case, they're just basically embedding the game in an environment. I think future games are going to be much more impressive where, you know, you're doing other things in the environment versus just watching a screen inside of a 3D space. But regardless, it's pretty cool. Standard jetpack joyride here. To make the guy fly, I'm just pinching my fingers together. And so, pretty basic, but also pretty fun. And it is a really immersive experience to kind of see the game inside of it, because you just forget about everything else. It's a little isolating because you're kind of all by yourself, but I could imagine environments where you're playing with other people with voice on, even video on. They could see your face, you could see their face, you could hear each other talking. I'll do some demos of those kind of things a little bit later. Let me know what other things you'd like to see videos of, and I'd be happy to record them and show you what it's like.